this is Fat Baby Angels.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't come up with nothing better than that.
Oh, I reckon what inspired that.
I don't know, but it sure cursed me.
Some chirps. Saw a picture of some
If you're ever
chirps.
skinny, don't call your band Fat Baby Angels. You'll turn into one.
Right.
Something in the water taught me how to crawl. Something in the water taught me how to fall. Something in my
Welcome to another episode of Something in the Water. I'm one of you co-hosts, Sean Clark, with Dave
Griffin,
Uncle Dave Griffin.
With me, Uncle Daddy-in-law on this episode. Because we got my son-in-law here tonight and Sean's old music buddy.
Jamie Stewart.
That's him.
All right. Yep.
It's about time.
How's my daughter doing?
She's good.
All right.
Yeah.
How's my grandchildren doing?
They're nuts as ever. No, they're doing great.
They take after G-Papa. You know, I told them when you're first informed as a parent, when you're first informed that you're going to be a grandparent, you go into this mode of, what name am I going to be called? And usually you just let them fall into something, you know. But no, with me, was
Control
born
freak.
in the 53 and I was raised in the 60s. By God, I was going to pick my name, but I wasn't going to have it be something as uncool as Granddaddy or Gramps, something like that.
Papa.
Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa. That just sounds
Pappy.
Insulting. So I did some thinking on it, and I said, how about G-Pa with a little hyphen in the middle?
Right.
G-Pa. It's hip.
Yeah.
It sounds like...
It's very street.
It's street.
And we can distinguish you from the other
You distinguish me from all their mother
grandparents. So
grandpas. But, and it also had GP, Graham Parson, G-Pa.
Grandpa.
I'm reaching for straws there.
Grandpasons.
it's just short for
But
grandpa.
they adapted right well to it. And, and on the other half,
So Mimi didn't stick.
no, on the other half of my down line, I've got a granddaughter that calls me straight up Papa. And so it is a little confusing at times when I'm go from Papa to G-Pa or G-Papa. But I can handle it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Connor's kids pick up on.
Right. Oh boy, you said it. I can't fathom it in my head yet, but Connor's kids sounds like a nonprofit. I'm sure I'll profit from it, but it sounds like a nonprofit
Organization. What kind of nonprofit organization you running here?
Give to Connor's kids. Well, dang. Speaking of kids, y'all have known each other since y'all was kids.
As far back as I have a memory.
Really?
I know, probably for you too, but first friend outside of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what age would that have been, y'all? Like as long as you
Five?
can remember, 5?
Yeah,
4?
I'd say 4 or 5.
Good Lord.
My grandma lived 2 houses down from Jamie's parents, and
my grandmother lived across the street
from my grandma,
Right.
Walker Street.
Yes.
Walker Street.
Yeah, it's off of Carswell. You don't want to go down there anymore
Off
without
of
a gun.
Carswell.
Yeah. It don't look the same as it did when we were little.
Right before the railroad tracks. There.
Yeah. That's a section.
Yeah.
And but I remember standing in my grandma's yard and looking down and seeing this other kid staring back at me with a cowboy hat on.
Yep.
And a hammer for a gun in his belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a plastic swimming pool was my tank.
Yeah, you had a plastic swimming pool for a tank.
Yep.
You'd get up under it.
Yep. And Sean was looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. And he's mean eyeing me.
Well, y'all sound like you had the same childhood I did. You know, cowboy hats and make-do guns.
It was probably a what kind of hat? Like a state patrol hat or something.
Yeah. My uncle was a Glenn County Sheriff's deputy, and he gave me a uniform, like with the hat and a shirt and everything, and the patches and a badge and all. So that's what it was. It was
Grown
like
man's uniform?
Well, he found a shirt that
Like
would
Smokey
fit
the
me.
Bear hat.
Yeah.
I got the 4 dents, right?
Yeah. It was almost looked like a park ranger, or, you know, kind of the ones that the
Drill
state
sergeant.
patrol used to, drill sergeant, state patrol used to wear.
So y'all, you were only over there visiting your grandma, so you weren't like there full time.
I was there a lot
A
because
lot.
my parents would work and I would be there all day.
Mm-hmm.
And between us was Miss Morgan, who was kin to Purnell Roberts.
That's right. Yep.
And
Right.
I remember seeing him one time come over there. But
Well, that's where Billy Ray gets his connection. He's always bragged about Purnell Roberts being kin. It's the Morgans. That
Yep.
was his mother side of the family.
me and Jamie would wreck her yard for probably $5 or something.
Yeah, for Christmas money every year. Yeah, and I remember that yard just seemed massive when I was a kid. And
It's
go back and look at it
nothing.
now. Yeah.
It's like, how are we ever going to wreck all this? That's like a strip.
Yeah.
Well, what,
seemed huge.
so your first recollection is the Evil Eye.
Yeah.
What happened next?
I don't know if I remember specific. We just somehow we just started hanging out.
Yeah, like every day.
I mean, Sean pretty well lived on Walker Street till we were maybe 12 and then 13. And then it was kind of,
My grandma moved.
yeah. And then we eventually moved too. So, I mean, I spent more time at your house after that.
Mhm.
For some reason, I was under the impression that y'all lived near each other out in frontier states. No?
Nope.
I don't know where I ever got that from. All right, so where did the next meaningful incident that happened that you can recall with pleasure?
Well, I don't know if these are with pleasure, but there was several trips to the ER for me.
Yeah.
At the hands of him?
No.
Well,
maybe
I was kind of like the Charles Manson in the situation. Why don't you jump from the top of the truck?
Let's climb on this cyclone fence.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I would do something and some stunt and make it out, and Jamie would straddle the fence, be hanging by his nutsack.
Yeah. No, that's not a joke.
Yeah, that happened.
That really happened.
Well, I'm glad to see it didn't impede your
Yeah.
procreation.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was after that incident where the fence, I'd walked one section of it and on the chain link fence, and Jamie went down, straddled, running home, and then your sister, who was probably a teenager,
Yeah. Maybe 18.
she come down there and she's like, you need to quit letting Jamie get hurt. You need to stop telling Jamie to do stuff. I didn't tell him to do nothing. He got me back one day. We was raking yards, and we started a sword fight with the rakes, probably lightsabers in our minds, but he throws the rake at me, and it hit me like in the eyes,
mean,
metal
just
rake,
like
like
millimeters.
and I got like strips of blood going down.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean nearly went blind in that incident. I mean,
Oh, my goodness.
just a little bit higher and it'd been over.
The little brat that I was went straight to his mama's house. Didn't what? It's like knocked on the door. Look what your son did to me. She's like, "Oh my goodness, let's clean you up. Has anybody seen you?"
Well, you had an incident with the Batman grappling hook that was not made
yeah.
to be a grappling hook.
Yeah, you could bend this with your fingers like a little hook.
I'm gonna swing out with this thing.
Put it on a clothesline and jumped off the back of the porch, thinking I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Knocked the breath out of me, scraped the whole back of my leg.
Yep. That's what I remember.
And y'all didn't even know I was jumping. Y'all were playing, you and my sister, and I was just over there on the ground, couldn't breathe.
Yeah, Jill was always she was right behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jill's younger than you.
2 years younger than me, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were doing something with empty Coke bottles one day, and
You peed on us.
well, I did do that, but this was a different incident.
Okay.
I think this is when I broke one on Miss Morgan's carport, and Jill cut her foot or something.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think it might have been a bomb or who knows what I was doing with the Coke bottle.
Yeah, y'all. That sounds like my childhood pretty much.
But when we were 15 for Christmas, we decided we wanted guitars and basses.
Yeah. Yep.
And we asked for them for Christmas. I think we had gotten MTV or seen MTV by then and was like, "Ooh, that looks cool."
Yeah. Well, we had done the Poison lip sync.
We had done that before we had.
We did that before we had, because I remember your mom like found some beat up guitar that wasn't worth playing at a yard sale and kind of did it up for you.
Yeah, like
Had like fishing strings and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We entered a lip syncing contest at the mall.
Yeah. I wish there was a video of that around.
This would have been what, 80 something?
Yeah. And we did.
Talk dirty to me.
Was it Talk Dirty to Me or Nothing But a Good Time? Talk Dirty to Me? That's
maybe it was not.
that's bold for a
I
bunch
think
of
it was
kids.
nothing but a good time.
That's bold for 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
But Jamie runs out to out of the runway stage and down on his knees, whatever he says, to the guitar player, and I run and leapfrog over him
Yeah.
to the ground and do my air guitar solo in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And some little cute pageant girl won the whole thing.
Yeah. Beat out by a pageant
I
girl.
know. We were jumping all over that place.
They were like,
Just
"What the
things
hell
to
is
come.
This devil
Mhm.
music?"
Yep.
That was Poison.
Jamie had a headband, bandana over his, like a
Yep.
Scully.
Yep. Sean had like a not a cowboy hat, but
Some
like
kind of federo.
some kind of bowler or something that like CC DeVille used to wear, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Oh man, I would be embarrassed to see
Did
that.
y'all
see
even
a
know-
video of that
Did
now.
y'all even know how to play
No,
your
Oh,
instruments?
we just
Definitely
started getting into music that age, just like
So
seeing bands and knowing who bands were all of a sudden. And
Yeah.
And we went and saw. I think I won tickets at the mall, entering some kind of Wheel of Fortune game they were having up there, and I won tickets to see David Lee Roth and Poison and Tesla, and we went to that.
And I won ticket. I won a ticket the second time from the radio station. The second time we saw him, Tesla was with the second time. in
We saw him
Jacksonville.
twice.
Yeah.
Was my cousin Michael there?
Yeah, Michael was at the second show.
He
Yeah.
was talking about this with me the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't remember seeing him twice.
Yeah, yeah. With David Lee Roth, it was in Savannah.
Yeah.
And Poison was the opening act.
Right. Well,
And-
Tesla, then Poison, then David Lee Roth.
No, it was Tesla opened for Poison in Jacksonville.
Tesla wasn't in the David Lee Roth one?
Nope.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're getting that mixed up, man. I swear you are.
Wow. Okay, I just combined both of those in my
a lot of
mind.
water under
Yeah.
that bridge.
'Cause you Tara, and
Yeah.
a friend of hers.
See, I had vague memories of riding
Yeah.
in a van,
yeah,
Tara.
your parents took us.
Tara who, of course.
Rollerson. Or now, you're kin to him on Zaxby's.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
I can't remember.
She
their
was
last name.
Rollerson at
Yeah.
that time. So was the Jacksonville Coliseum still there at that time?
Yeah,
wasn't
that was where we went.
I'm glad you clarified that because I had a whole conversation about it the other day. I thought I only saw poison once.
Yeah, I know, man. Things get muddy to me too, but I do remember that it was two
I thought
separate
it was
shows.
3.
Who sang "Come
I
On,
mean,
Feel the Noise"?
That was
Quiet
Twisted-
Right.
Oh,
Quiet
Quiet
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the era we came up being
Mm-hmm.
cheapaw.
I remember that era as far as TV goes. I just don't remember the restaurants in Waycross for that era. I wasn't
Western
looking.
Sizzling.
I wasn't looking at young girls.
Yeah, we got into the hair metal.
Mm-hmm. Rat.
Yep.
Let's see.
Cinderella.
Well, they look like women.
Yeah.
We thought we was
Cinderella,
doing
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
Sebastian
Yeah.
Man, I
Bach.
like all these girl bands.
My dad gave me hell about it. What you got all these girls on your walls for? These men that look like girls. You gay or something?
And I remember this from, and just knowing your daddy, like how this must have ate his ass up. We were at your house. Me and you were just playing in the floor, and your sister was in there watching American Bandstand or something like that. I think it had Dick Clark on it, but Prince, early Prince,
Yeah.
pre-Purple Rain Prince was on there, and she was watching it, and he come in there and like, "What the hell are y'all watching?" And she's like, "It's Prince, Daddy," and he had his shirt off and stuff. She's like, "He's sexy, and I don't care if you don't like it." And I was just like, then at that moment I was like, "Whoa, it's getting tense in here," but like just thinking back on it now, like what the hell he must have been really thinking.
Honestly, my dad would he would give us hell about that kind of stuff, but
He
he
didn't really
really
care.
he really was cool about it.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
care.
Yeah,
You know,
he was a card though.
you might remember this, Dave. So my dad used to work at World Hi-Fi.
Your daddy used to work.
Yeah, I was
at
gonna
World
bring that up.
Hi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, Dad did like car stereo and CB radio installations and repairs and that kind of stuff. So he wasn't necessarily on the sales floor all the time.
Right. No,
But do you remember when Kevin worked there?
Kevin who?
Kevin Griffiths.
No,
Don-
see, that
Don's
was probably after. My time there would have been 74 along there, probably when it first opened. Might have opened in 73, and it was called Wiltronic. No, not Wiltronics. It was World Hi-Fi, but before it was called. Yeah, see, I done forgot that.
Yeah,
it opened up as something, and then James Blunt may have opened it at the beginning, but he was definitely 74 because that's when Ray worked down there, Billy Ray.
Okay.
And they had the little in
Jody
the back
worked
right-hand corner. They had that little isolated room where you could close the doors and punch speakers on the wall for car stereos to
that's right.
listen to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did not know that your daddy worked there though.
Yeah. Daddy probably installed all that, honestly. So
Do you remember what year he worked there?
Well, James and Daddy were good friends.
Mm-hmm.
They were hunting buddies.
Mhm.
And so Daddy worked over in Brunswick somewhere, and he asked Daddy to come work
Mm-hmm.
at World Hi-Fi. So we moved from Brunswick.
What
I
year
was-
was that?
I was 6 to 8 months old.
Dang.
So I was born in 75. So it would have been in 76 sometime.
Okay, yeah. I would not have known that because I was already on the road
Okay.
in a band by then. But I'm sure I went back out there occasionally. Rip Snow was working there later. You remember hearing about
I've heard
Rip
that
Snow,
name.
guitar player. He wasn't a guitar player then, but boy, he picked it up quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of young guys that
Mhm.
went through there.
Mhm.
Jody
That-
Parrott
that's-
worked there,
Yeah,
Jody did.
in the close to the end
close
of
to
it.
the very end of it.
Yep.
Karen, wasn't that
Yeah,
one
that
of
was
the
one of
daughters?
his daughters,
And I can't remember the other one. And
I
his
can't
wife's
either.
name was
Janet
Janet. Yeah.
or Janice. It's Janice.
That's right.
Yep.
Always very nice and friendly to me.
Oh yeah, no, they
I
were real
bought
good
a
to
Martin
Daddy.
guitar from him and a Les Paul. Boy, both of them brings back good memories, but ended up trading or pawning them both. Never kept anything worth it.
You never kept anything worth a damn?
Yeah, I mean, guitars, you just keep moving through them and going down the...
Leaving them on the sidewalk. Let somebody walk off with them.
That's not even a pawn. That's a dead giveaway. Well, where were we? Okay. We was about 15, age 15. Y'all was going to concerts. And so who got who interested in playing?
I mean, it's probably, Sean definitely probably got me more interested in it.
You think? I just felt like we was both wanting to do it at the same time or whatever.
Well, I mean, I think you were like, I want to play guitar. He's like, you play bass. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's how bass players are born.
Yeah.
Somebody, you need to play bass. Okay.
Yeah, it was similar to Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's about the time we met Ken's when we started playing. I think I met him first and
my
taking
parents
lessons.
My parents bought me a Dean bass guitar, and it was like a combo deal. It had like a little tiny amp that was not built for a bass guitar in any way, shape, or form.
I got the bass amp with my guitar.
That's right.
I got the Gorilla bass amp with a K guitar.
And what was your guitar again?
Little K, but it was like this long.
Oh yeah, and it wouldn't stay in tune.
Wouldn't stay in tune. Harley can turn the tuning keys on it. And like froze in place or something, but it was brand new.
You didn't have it for
crappy
too long though.
No, it didn't. I wouldn't have made it playing guitar if I'd have stuck with that one.
Yeah.
I think the next thing I got was this Strat copy that was a Hondo.
Yeah, I remember the Hondo.
White Strat. And I ended up painting that one like the American flag, the body, and I put a different neck on it.
Yeah, that really wasn't a bad guitar. I mean, for what it was.
That was good. It was more solid than the other one I had.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Dean was definitely a good guitar. And that Ken was talking about how there was a Frankenstein bass that he had built. So parts of that came from that Dean. Yeah, and I think that bass is still around. I think TW a lot has that bass.
Wow.
I'll have to check see if he still has it.
I painted that too with paint pens. We painted both those guitars.
Yep. It went through quite a few because I had put a bunch of stickers all over it. And I think Ken cleaned it off and then you painted it. And
I thought I painted it when you had it.
You might have.
Because it was like, I was trying to paint, like a lot of guitars at that time had the crackle finish, and I was like actually painting the crackle on kind of thing.
Right.
Like spotted something. But,
so you had artistic tendencies even back then? You was already drawing?
I was drawing from 5 years old.
Yeah, Ken had the yellow Yamaha, and you did the thing with the exploding
light bulb
on it. Yeah, which eventually I got that bass. And then I think I sold it to Steve Bennett, which I wish I hadn't got rid of that one.
So what's y'all's first, did y'all jam together at that point when you didn't know anything?
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. But
making noise.
Yeah.
Then we took lessons from Toby Harris.
Did you take lessons too?
Yeah.
We our first band was Twist of Fate.
I think so.
Yeah, with Daniel Moore and Joey Walltower and
Scott Paul.
Scott Paul.
Sort of.
If he'd show up and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that turned into Slush Puppy.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah.
With Gus and Brett, Garrett, me and Jamie.
Yep.
Okay, now that's the one that y'all were starting to learn your way by then, right?
We were writing songs and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very
Played
much
in Jacksonville, playing here.
Is that Slush Puppy?
Yeah, that's Slush Puppy right there. Me and Gus and Jamie in the background in between us.
What's that guitar?
That is a shitty Ibanez I had.
Yep. And I think I'm playing an Ibanez as well.
I think it's an X series.
What
As
would
it
that
said so
music
big
have
on-
sounded like right there?
Alice in Chains,
Alice in Chains.
probably the closest thing I can come to.
Yeah, Alice in Chains
So,
or grunge.
Let's
or-
see. That would have
Nirvana.
been 90.
No, that would have been,
Probably 92, 93.
yeah, I'm thinking 90, 92.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
At CiraSomething.
CiraSomething. That was above.
That's the actual
That's
name.
Above Katie's Cafe.
Yep.
What else you got, Lauren?
And there's Brett Garrett.
Brett Garrett on the drums, but that's in Gus's backyard at a high school party we played.
Yep. Yeah, that was our busy times. End of the school year. We usually have at least
We're having a party. And then Gus would draw a flyer and pass it out everywhere that would have drug contraband drawn on it.
paraphernalia drawn on it like
and-
it was code for something.
And it was like LSD and like, not that any of this was going on there. It was just like all these, he was trying to make it 60s psychedelic poster. And the cops would always show up as we passed. We're over here.
Yeah. That was a good night, though. We had a good time. Yeah, the whole night was a good time.
Well, I don't know about that. What else we got up there?
Yeah, I think.
Skip.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, skip that. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Those. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, that was at the same
Same
Party.
night.
Yeah,
Who is that?
that's me and Brett.
Brett played the
Um,
drums.
Yeah, that's after the show, and I'm about 2/3 the way through a bottle of Mr. Boston vodka.
This could be Jamie on any given Sunday
Yeah,
or any given day of that year or those 5 years. Like, that's what he looked like on his driver's license.
yeah, yeah. And I drank cheap vodka all the time, and wore flannel in the middle of the freaking summer in Southeast Georgia.
It was a hot year for flannel.
Yeah, it was.
There y'all are in Jacksonville, I think.
No,
No,
that's
that's
at Sears
That's
something.
Club CiraSomething.
Oh, there, yeah, yeah.
That's Katie's Cafe right now.
Yep.
One door down's where you lost your Takamine.
Yeah.
Lost your what?
His Takamine guitar when I had the
Oh yeah.
record store over
Uh-huh.
there.
Yep.
We had a music night, and Dave ended up standing in the cubby hole just like this next door. And I was been there all day, and I was like, I'm going home. And I just left him and Mike Johnson talking. And come back.
Eventually, we all drifted off, and
I came back the next
I
day,
had to
worked
lean my guitar up against one of those sides of the plate glass window,
the next,
and
almost
didn't even think to
Yeah.
turn around and get it that night when I left.
almost the end of the work day. The next day, about 5 o'clock, Dave calls me from across town.
No,
around the
you
corner.
call me and say, "Hey, you still there? I need to come get some strings." And I said, "Yeah. Hey, how about bringing my guitar with you when you come?"
And then
I
called
thought
him back
I'd
and
left
like,
it
"Your
inside,
guitar's not
you know."
here. I don't see your guitar.
Oh boy, it hit me like an arrow through the brain. Then I said, "Oh shit." I did not leave it inside. I left it outside, and it's gone.
Mm.
I was almost in tears. I called Lynn up. Lynn, bless her heart, drove to every pawn shop in 3 counties, probably, looking for it.
Wasn't a cutaway, was it?
No. Looked just like the one I got now, the Martin. But I was working at Crosstown Music at the time. We were a Martin dealer, and every month you'd have to order a certain amount of Martins to keep the dealership.
Right.
And every month we'd get a shipment in of 2 or 3 or 4, and I'd pull them out, every one of them, and play them, waiting to feel that feel and that sound that my old Takamine had. And finally, a DR came in, and that was it.
We all
Now,
got
I've still
DRs.
got that one. Let's see, I had the Takamine from 77 to
Ooh.
2003 or whatever year it was.
Wow, that did hurt.
Was that
Bunch
Having
of,
it that
bunch of
long.
songs written on it.
77, 87, 97, 20, 26 years, I guess. Had the Martin, 2003 to now is 20 years. Dang.
About time to leave that one somewhere.
About time to let somebody steal it.
Get you another.
I'll let y'all know when I'm ready.
That's more than he did for the last feller. Poor feller. Wow. Guitar.
Yeah, imagine it was like, wow. Hey, this will look good in somebody's hands with cash in mine.
Right.
Yep, that was a sad day. Okay. Oh, leather jacket
Leather jacket.
on that last picture.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Fonzie.
That I think that's me. I think that's me.
Yeah,
on,
you're on Gus's back. We were mosh.
Sean's behind y'all doing
Yep, yep.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all.
That was Jim Morrison.
There's Marco Yulo,
Where's Mark?
right there on the right, there,
Right over
to
there.
the right of the
With
post,
the black
Yeah.
shoes.
and Conway.
Who's leaning up against the pole?
Is that Lee Miller?
Patrick. I think Lee Miller is the one in the middle of the floor.
Might be.
Isn't that somebody behind Sean back there?
Yeah, looks like a.
Girl.
Yeah.
Probably
Is it
Lisa.
Liz?
It's like Lisa.
Looks like the girl with the big hair in another of these pictures. That's grouped back there in the corner. It's
People too scared to dance.
mm-hmm.
Well, look at us. We were freaking them out.
They're the band.
Man, they're weird.
All right. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
All right.
It does look like
From
line
right
dancing.
to left, who's that way down there?
I don't know.
Oh,
who
well, that's
that is.
Gina right there with the hair right
Yeah.
there.
It's
twirling.
Bozo hair.
Doing the Natalie Merchant.
Yep.
Conway.
I don't know who the dude is.
Marco.
Conway, Marco. I think
Is that Zach?
that's Sam in the middle.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What was that
think of
Iulo
his last
guy's
name.
name that used to come around?
Ed.
Ed. That's
That's
right.
Marco's brother.
Okay.
Yeah. He's probably around there somewhere.
All right.
It's like Jason Chancey right there. You got the arrow on. I don't know. Zoom in
Really?
on-
Jason Chancey looked like that?
Zoom in. Jason
could
Chancey
be.
was skinny. I think
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Gus, Sean, and Jamie. And the same head in the foreground.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Steve Bennett.
and Jody Parrott.
No, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay.
See my glasses?
Okay, I do.
What was that? The soundboard
Yeah.
or
Yeah. He was
lighting
he was the DJ.
DJ?
Yeah. Actually, we controlled the sound for the band from the stage because we didn't have cables.
That was a portion of the stage.
But we had lights that, was it Jody that rigged them up or you? Both y'all?
I think it was Jody.
Coffee cans
Mm-hmm.
with light bulbs in them. And then we had light switches up there, and whoever be running sound just be flipping light switches like
Yeah.
for our stage lights.
Who did the art?
Random different people would do
Mm.
different things. I think Gus did the face. I did one on further down the wall. You can't
Now,
see.
did y'all have to rent this place, or was it just like
we
Robert
didn't rent it.
Kicklighter, who was Jill Cirasella's stepdad,
did it for the kids?
did it. He was an attorney, I think,
Mhm.
and then
And he was
or maybe he was an accountant. I don't.
Well, he was. What was the job that Mary Beth Kennedy had?
Yeah, like
He-
development.
Yeah, he had that
downtown
same
development
job
or something.
at that time.
Yeah.
But
Down there. So
he did it for his stepdaughter and all of her friends who were us
Mm-hmm.
to have a place to go and
Mm-hmm.
get off the
So
streets.
he leased it, and they said, yeah, let him paint on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
painted it black. And then we went in there and painted it all crazy. Had the cafe downstairs before Katie's was there.
I had some
Mhm.
pool tables and stuff down there.
Next.
Cool. And it's called Club CiraSomething because nobody could say Ciracella.
I command thee, get out.
It's Jamie breaking a guitar. The guitar's not pictured.
There ain't nothing left
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Those
I
were
was-
monitor wedges that Jody had built, I think.
Yeah, me and Jody built those together. Just
Y'all
had some
always come together on some kind of project.
speakers and we're like, hey, well, let's make some monitors out of these.
Mm-hmm.
And
Probably no horns, just speakers in them.
was the drum riser, was it already in there for some reason?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't build that. The
Yeah.
stage was there.
That drum riser was actually pretty cool. I'm glad we had that.
Wonder what that damn place was used for before that. To have all of that in there.
I don't know.
Stage
no
and drum
idea.
riser. I don't remember it being anything.
Yep.
And tonight's outfit is a forest green.
So this would have been moving on from Gus, and Jody would have been in the band at this point.
Oh, this is Fat Baby Angels
Yeah.
because we couldn't come up with nothing better than that.
Oh, I reckon what inspired that.
I don't know, but it sure cursed me.
Some chirps. Saw a picture of some
If you're ever
chirps.
skinny, don't call your
Yeah.
band Fat Baby Angels. You'll turn into one.
Right. I know. I remember we were sitting downstairs. I think Lee Miller was with us, and we kept just throwing out all kinds of names and stuff, trying to figure out a new name.
Cherubs were big that year because
Yeah,
of Smashing
yeah.
Pumpkins and stuff. And I
That's
think
right. That's
Music wise, y'all doing any, making any changes or just sticking
right.
with
Yeah.
I mean, I mostly wrote the music stuff in Slush Puppy anyway, but I mean, what'd you say?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then now that Gus wasn't singing, and now I'm stepping up to sing, I guess it changed. Probably the originals went from sounding like Alice in Chains to more Smashing Pumpkins,
Yeah,
or the taste
pretty
changed
much.
a little bit. But
who was writing?
I was writing the songs. I
Sean
guess.
wrote the songs, and then me and Brett would come in and do our part.
Y'all wrote some stuff too, as far as riffs and stuff.
What
Yeah.
about words?
I was all Sean.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just sounds weird. Writing songs called Smother and tomato can soup.
Tomato can soup. Damn.
Down, 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 down,
Yeah.
down.
There's I think back, I couldn't remember the name of that song, but I could hear it in my head, and I was thinking back to how there's parts of Tool songs that sound like that too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had music of that.
Well,
Well, there is some around.
I've got 2 VHS tape recordings from these days, but I gotta find them and then I gotta get them to some way of viewing them.
Well, we do have
Give them to Tim.
there is a CD somewhere. It's some really crappy recording though, but it is some stuff. Some of it is with Slush Puppy, and some of it's with Fat Baby Angels.
A CD.
Yeah, because after
Somebody
Gus,
had a tape deck. I mean, we had a recording on a cassette tape of a practice.
well, we
Somebody put that to a CD.
yeah, because after Gus died, you got a somehow. You don't remember that? Because I remember giving one to Rachel.
Mm.
And God, it's been so long since I heard it. I'll have to dig it out.
I remember we did Junkhead on there. Was that?
Yeah, that was one with Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains cover.
And then it might have the song that we recorded with Timmy in his little studio with Jody. Me, you, Jody, and Brett.
I don't remember that.
God, what was the name of that song? It was the only song that I did like slap and pop on.
Blend?
No, I didn't do slap and pop on that one.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it.
Well, when I locate those VHS tapes, we'll have to have you back on and watch some of that stuff. Because one of the tapes is Kurt Cobain had just died, and it was that weekend that we threw a Nirvana tribute, and we had all of our band friends from Jacksonville and around here.
There's like 5 bands.
Played Nirvana songs, and that's on one of the videos. Yeah, and then the other one is just Fat Baby Angels practicing here and playing a show at Cool Bean Cafe in Jacksonville.
That's right.
So y'all did. That's what I was going to ask you. Y'all played out more than here?
Not too much, but
typically parties.
Yeah,
and
high school parties and.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Getting this spot for our practice spot open, I would book bands from
usually Jacksonville,
mm-hmm.
and then that would get us in with them to play down there and stuff.
Yeah, it was a band, Inner Scarlet.
Yep.
Any of them go on to do anything that you know of, or just lose touch?
And I think Gizzard actually got a record deal. I don't know what they really ever did with it, if it ever went that far. But they actually got signed to a label.
45 records I have still.
And I went to a couple of their shows when I lived in Atlanta too.
And the singer Chris went on, what was that band? Him and I think it's the guy from Dampading.
Dampading, yeah.
What's the band they formed together?
I can't remember.
It's pretty good. I can't think.
Black Crows?
No.
Chris? Robinson?
No. Chris Hicks, I think.
What's next?
Or Brian Hicks was
Brian Hicks.
I don't remember Chris's last name.
Go ahead.
I can't remember.
That's just another action.
That's Henry Rollins. I mean, Gus.
The same.
Okay, so we don't have the riser in that picture. We found it somewhere, obviously. I just don't remember where. But yeah, it was cool once we got that riser.
2.
Yep.
Now Jody's up there now.
Yep.
So that's a different band, or
that's Fat Baby Angels.
Fat Baby Angels.
Okay.
We kind of, I guess we played a few months before Jody stepped in and started playing with us.
Jody was in a band called Bucket with Mason Baker and Barry Barnes.
Jody Parrott. Yep. That's flashing way forward now.
Yeah. That's the Shingles.
The Shingles played at.
Don't ever name your band the Shingles. You'll get them.
Graham Parsons guitar pull in probably around 2009 or so.
So it would have been right before Wyatt. So I'm going to say that it was 2009 would be about right.
Yeah.
Because Jared.
Is there a
Jared left right before Megan got pregnant.
Is there a caption under that picture? Or does it show up? No, it just said. Okay. All right. That would have been years later, and this flashback back to where we were. They had one fan, and it was on stage with them. That's how good.
I was hot up there, man. That's why I had my shirt off.
That's how good
I had my fan over there.
They had only one fan.
I don't think there was air conditioning up there either. And like on one of those videotapes, somebody, like I'm talking on the stage, hosting the night of the Nirvana thing, and somebody's like, "It's hot in here,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like on the microphone going, "It's hot in hell too." What? Like, I haven't gotten any better at stage banter over the years.
Hot air rises.
Yeah.
Hot in hell too.
I mean, well, shit, that would have been April or May. Into
Yeah.
April, 1st of May.
All the windows up. Like,
Yeah.
people
Fans going, you know.
flannels.
Yeah.
Wonder we didn't start a
And-
fire in there.
Well, that was probably one of the biggest nights that we ever had at
Yeah.
CiraSomething.
Yeah,
I think we should have
it
had
was like when Elvis died.
yeah.
But it was our Elvis.
Oh,
died.
that was the tribute. The Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain tribute, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now Sean's saying, one day
Yeah.
one day that thing's gonna be a little bigger.
I was sunburnt, I think. See how two-toned I am?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not long before the end of the band there because
Of me being skinny? Oh, yeah.
yeah, both of us. Actually, three of us.
Who is that with Bobcat?
That's Courtney Dixon.
Yeah, he ended up taking
Yeah,
Brett's spot.
Brett was going to be going off to college. He got a scholarship and was going off to college, and so we got him to play, Courtney Dixon to play with us.
Mhm.
But we didn't play a whole lot after that. It wasn't long after that we broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would have
From
been
one stomach to another.
that would have been a
I
Slush
can't
Puppy
stomach.
show
Yes.
at
Oh.
Mixon Pond.
Mix and pond, yep.
Dixon Pond. I see Gus back there.
Yep,
And,
That's
Elwood.
old. What's his name?
Elwood,
that's what we call him. Elwood.
Eric.
Eric.
Redmond.
Yeah.
And I think that's Vicky Sanchez,
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who that was.
on top of the refrigerator or whatever she's on.
Yeah,
That's a girl?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Marco Ayulo's cousin from Spain. She was an exchange student.
That's right. I remember hearing stories about her. Nikki?
Vicky.
Dickie?
Vicky.
Vicky.
Vicky with a V.
Yeah.
Vicky with a V.
Dickie.
I couldn't. Now, that's the girl that I was thinking about that y'all was trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's who I said
picture.
it was. That's Lisa.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's Liz.
Liz and Lisa and Eric, Jamie.
Mhm.
Or is that Ad Rock? I can't tell. Like a Beastie Boy up there.
Lisa. Looks like the kind of stuff Lynn's wearing on her hair back there.
yeah. I think that's at Gus's backyard.
Yep.
Okay, and there's another picture of that night. Jody's looked like the devil.
Baggy pants on, boy.
He's probably tripping. He usually was.
He's staring down.
That's why Jody won't come on here
staring down another fella man.
talking all this shit.
Come on, Jody. Come on here, man. He don't remember any of it.
Back to Slush Puppy.
Yep.
That's before we painted the walls black, I guess.
Yeah, that was probably in very early.
What? Your hair's caught in the fan.
It's a beehive.
Look at that mass.
And that's how that was my mating call.
Yeah, it looks like a turban.
But did it work?
It didn't not work. Work well, or
Young
No,
men,
it
young men,
probably could have worked better.
young men in their prime.
If I'd known then what I
Gus
know
is
now.
staring
That's
down
right.
another fella man.
That's right. There's Sean with his Telecaster.
And it's
plaid,
bang,
plaid pants.
bang.
Yeah,
I go to the
me shop.
me shop and buy old man golf pants. They would catch on there at that thrift shop. The flannels are in, up the price, and like they had
Yeah.
50-cent flannels are now $20. But I would just alter my taste. Like, well, I'm getting plaid pants now. They seem to be free.
There you go.
They're onto the plaid pants. Up the price. Go down on the flannels.
What were y'all doing here? What was that? Just listen to a band?
Yeah,
Probably.
pretty
Looks
sure.
like you're in assembly program at high school.
Everybody's facing where the stage is, so something's going on up there.
It's
Might
pro-
be an acoustic show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a band from Jacksonville we weren't familiar with.
Yeah,
and we
y'all
were
are looking
checking them
very,
out.
very angst-ridden,
Like, we're ready to rock, but I don't know.
very, very moody and angst.
But y'all are standing like, we're a little bit cooler because we're in another band, and
Who's
we're about to get to the bottom of this.
Who's the
We'll
people?
tell you if it's good. Dude.
Who's the people
Stand up.
from right to left?
I can't see.
Starting with the girl.
I don't know who the blonde is.
That is, yeah, you do. That's Kristen.
Kristen Crowder?
Yeah, I think. Or was she too young?
I don't know. It could
It
be.
looks like her. Favors. Brunette.
I don't know. Who.
I can't think of her name, but she is. She went to Pierce County.
That's Hillary.
That's Hillary Reagan.
Hillary Reagan from
Her-
Bexley.
Conway.
Her parents was Nancy and Ronald Reagan.
They sure were. A
For real.
chiropractor.
Oh,
from
really?
Bexley.
For real,
Okay.
that was their names, and she was Hillary Reagan.
Which was Clinton's daughter.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that looks like Larry Osborne right there to me.
Hillary's Clinton's wife, there, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Who's next over there?
That's Patrick.
Patrick Carter, and I'm not sure of that blonde.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no
Next.
idea who those people in the foreground are.
My van. No. Zach.
Yep.
Right there. On
Zach
the
with
left.
eyes closed, squatting. That's Jamie behind him, and Scott Paul, Cindy Dale,
Little Sydney.
Yep. David Miller.
David Miller, me, Jeremy Combs, Vicky Sanchez, and Ivy Woodard.
Mhm.
I have no recollection of this picture.
I don't either. That must be Jeremy's van or David's van.
That's David's band. Yep.
David
Miller.
Miller.
Yep.
We need to get with him. He's out in Colorado, I believe. See if he's got a gig we can get on the way back from our California trip.
Mm-hmm.
He works on wind turbines,
Yeah, I don't know what this is. That's double exposure.
double
evidently.
exposure. That's
But
looks like both pictures. One was taken downstairs in the cafe, and one was taken upstairs in the dance floor.
Yep.
so
And
that would have been you and Jamie in the cafe.
It's hard to believe there was Jaguars football back then.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
That's it.
It would have just
thought
been coming around.
Thought that might have been a slush puppy.
Yeah. Well,
Can't tell what
Sean
else.
looks like there might be some whiskey in that cup.
It might be.
He's tickled at
It
something.
might be some mushroom tea. You can't ever tell.
That's right.
What's your T-shirt say?
CiraSomething.
Oh, okay.
And I drew that as Saturn,
Mm-hmm.
and all the letters were sperm.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No wonder
I
y'all
think that
had
was,
parents hating us.
Well, I think that was Jill Saracella's request. Like, make all the letters out of sperm. Okay. No one will know. We'll tell them it's tadpole.
Yeah, that is a cool picture though, just because it's all screwed up.
And you, to which you said, "Real sperm?"
I'm running a little low. I'm about to run about a quart low.
Oh, that was the last one. Well, that was a trip down memory lane, folks.
Well, let's take a little pause and we'll come back and Jamie play some bass.
I don't know about that.
We'll jam like the old days. See you in a minute.
Something in my brain won't let me stray. Something in my veins gonna find its way. Something in the water taught me how to pray. When that cold black water finds its way into your veins,
we back again
Yeah.
with our guest, my son-in-law, Jamie Stewart.
Your favorite son-in-law.
My favorite son-in-law, my only son-in-law. I see what it was I had a daughter, and she ended up growing up and getting married. Speaking of which, that was about 2006, and there they are. No, this ain't a reenactment. This is the day that it was.
That's right.
Remember the date?
I do.
February, March
It was March 18th.
18th, 1 week after her birthday.
Yes. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Her birthday, that year, she would have been 23.
That's right.
Yeah. And that was
And you were 48.
the Lovely Lane Chapel.
That's right.
The Lovely
I
Lane
was 30.
Chapel on Epworth by the Sea
That's right.
in St. Simons.
Yep.
My band played for y'all's wedding reception, Rhythm Oil.
That's right.
And I think I actually sang a song at your wedding, too.
You did. You wrote a specific song for our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And
You can take my daughter hunting, but you better have her home by dark. Is that it?
Kind of like that.
I think we have framed the song framed.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think I got somebody to calligraphy it or
You
something
did.
like
Yep.
that.
Yep. You did.
And then a reenactment so many years later with The Kiss.
Yep.
Look at there. Look at there. What?
Yep. She looks about the same, and I'm completely gray.
And y'all are a lot closer up. Is there a caption on that? 2021. So that would have been 15 years, right? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be
I think
17.
We
might have been over there for
2006.
anniversary or something
Yep.
while we did that.
15-year anniversary kiss. And
How'd you feel about all that?
they are the parents, and I'm the grandparent of grandson and granddaughter, Wyatt and Millie.
Got a picture for that?
No. But they're definitely you can see Megan in Wyatt and Millie, but I can see
Definitely Wyatt.
in Millie. I can see your mama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Millie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. No, Wyatt. I mean, he looks. Other than his hair color, he looks just like his mama. Facial expressions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think he acts a little bit like her too.
But Megan, she's a wonderful person. She's very successful businesswoman without having had any college education. She's smart, just smart.
She is very smart when it comes to marketing and fashion. I mean, she's a genius.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, she's very talented at that. And
I mean, that's been her whole life, actually. From the time she was 2, her mama would get her up on Saturday mornings and dress her and haul her with her to garage sales. So that was the early impetus, I think. And by the time she was a junior, or maybe even earlier than that, freshman, sophomore in high school, her granddaddy on her mama's side was an accountant and he had a business right downtown, and there was a little tiny storage closet down the hallway in his business that he turned it over to her. It wasn't no bigger than, it was smaller than this room we're in.
Yeah.
And she made a consignment store out of it with her clothes, which she just had a fashion sense, you know.
Yep.
And it was her clothes and her friends' clothes. They would just throw them in there when they got tired of wearing them. And all the other girls in school would go, oh, jump on them, you know. And that was her first business. And it was a successful business in itself. And then her and her mama opened up a kind of like
boutique.
A boutique kind of consignment. And at some point, they started buying lines of clothes and making it a full-scale retail kind of brand new clothes lines. And then she jumped off on her own and got the place in Flanders Shopping Center, Repeat Boutique.
Yes.
Which was a good name for a consignment store, you know. And
that was my idea, by the way.
Oh,
it really was.
Hey, how about that? He's like the best Clark of. She's giving Sean all these ideas, and you're doing the same to Megan. And then she expanded that one to another store and called that one for baby clothes. It was
she for a short time, after she got pregnant with Wyatt, Sweet Repeats.
And then Jody Paris' ex-wife actually took that over from her.
Right. She did. She was just too much for her.
Yeah. And then at some point, Megan decided to go the retail route instead of consignments.
Yeah, it just kind of organically started moving in that direction.
Mm-hmm. And she goes up to Atlanta once or twice a year somewhere to a buyer's shows and brings back these great clothes. And like I say, she's always had an eye for it and very detailed in the marketing part of it, which is merchandising in your store. If you got something that looks good to the eye when you walk in a store instead of like a Dollar General where everything's in the aisles, unopened boxes of freight on dollies and stuff like that. Megan's got it down to a T.
She knows how to set it up in a way that's pleasing to the eye. These women love it.
Mm-hmm. And she's built her up a clientele that is loyal.
Well, she's got her artistic abilities, honestly, and that's an artistic outlet for her too. You know, I mean, being able to do all that and design and everything.
That's it.
So that helps too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that kind of leads right into this, but I got a tale of the week here for you, folks, as normal. And speaking of her artistic abilities, I'm going to go like this. My fascination with art began at an early age when I would sit on my daddy's lap in Tripoli, Libya, as he sketched the face of a cowboy. I was fascinated with them, too, underneath a wide-brimmed hat. Mama was talented as well, with the ability to draw and create beautiful objects of art. At about 8 years, I unleashed my first original, Dog with Wristwatch. A simple line drawing with big geometric shapes. As a matter of fact, that is not the original. I reconstructed it because I remembered it from all those years ago. Upon high school graduation, I was struggling to decide what I wanted to do in life. My three top choices were either journalism, music, or art. I entered Georgia Southern College in Statesboro, Georgia, where one of my fall quarter courses was Art and Life, which I promptly slept through most days. My grades reflected my lack of initiative, and I was bounced back home after one quarter. You see, Art and Life, F. PE, what did I say? P. P stands for satisfactory. I slept every morning in my dorm. I quit going to PE after the first week, but I got a quarter hour. Biology, F, which was a great subject for me in high school. And algebra was my last course of the day. It was about 2:00, and I made it, and I loved algebra, so there you go.
Dang.
Daddy says, I'm already on academic probation after one quarter. Daddy says, you ain't going back.
Had about a damn enough of it.
Talk about Statesboro blues. In early 1972, with no job prospects, I would ride to Memorial Drive Elementary School in Waycross, Georgia, where Mama taught kindergarten. I would plop down in the library with a sketch pad and draw pictures for the students as they came and went. Later that year, I enrolled in a local art class, learning the dynamics of shade, shape, and colors, using pastel chalk as our medium. We did a still life of a bowl of fruit, my end result having about as much life as a bowl of oatmeal. So I went home and gathered some still life objects around the house that meant something to me and placed them on top of a green cloth on Mama's ironing board. There was Granddaddy Carter's old double-barrel shotgun, a vintage brass oil lamp, an antique black flat iron, our aged Griffin family Bible, and a planter that looked like a spinning wheel. Gathering up my chalks and sketch pad, then summoning the spirits of creativity, I did my best to do my best. Mama loved it, like only a mama could, so I had it matted and framed and gave it to her for Christmas. By then, music was becoming a big part of my life as I learned to play the acoustic guitar, but art still held a fascination with me. I bought a big coffee table-sized book, The Best of Norman Rockwell, about the famous illustrator whose lifelike works adorned the covers of Saturday Evening Post for nearly 5 decades. For a while there, I trusted my own Rockwellian desires and considered applying for admission to the art program at Belmont College in Nashville. I got pretty good at drawing or copying other objects, like comic book characters, magazine ads, album covers, and music celebrities. But to create art using my own imagination was usually a futile attempt. That's the cover of a Firefall album. Still, art provided me with another creative outlet besides my guitar, and I enjoyed it. Music eventually won out over all my artistic dabbling. Music eventually won out overall, and my artistic dabbling became just that, dabbling. I suppose the love and fascination I held for art was at least environmentally passed down, as my daughter Megan is quite handy with pen and paper. She freestyled a quick sketch that I used on the front of my Uncle Dave t-shirt, shown right here.
With the signature Uncle Dave
Tidy
Whities.
And I quickly sold out of them t-shirts. My wife, Lynn, is a very gifted artist. Using markers, pens, pencils, and brushes, she has rekindled her passion for illustrative art over the past 5 years, creating folksy paintings on canvas, paper, rocks, and boards, which she has no problem scavenging out of the depths of dumpsters and off the soft shoulders of any highway we're traveling on. That's supposedly me and her. She calls her artistic creations Cosmic Rose Designs, and she sold quite a few. One of her designs, the Dog Hill Gang, was inspired after hearing tales about the escapades of me and my childhood neighbors growing up on Mount Pleasant Road, which we called Dog Hill. In her painting, I guess this is left to right, she depicts me, Brother Gary. No, this ain't left to right. This is, anyhow, me, my brother Gary, James Cock, Greg Griffin, and Billy Ray Heron as the animals we truly are, yet with a very colorful cinematic flair. There they are. We've been blessed with grandchildren who are leaning into grandma's or nana's art with passion and talent. Hannah, who's lived half of her life in our house, presented us with 2 beautiful renderings for Christmas. My gift was her take on Lynn's Dog Hill Gang. And this was probably about 5 years ago. And this date up top, what does that say? 2018? Yeah, about 5 years ago. And Lynn's present was a colorful and imaginative piece called Mice Eater Restaurant, featuring Sir Al in a top hat. And he's thinking, Sir Al is my name? Excuse me. And he's got, there's some mice in the bottom corner down there. And he's got one of them in his mouth with the tail hanging out of his beak. So open all owl hours. Megan and Jamie's children, Wyatt and Millie, shared their grandmother's and mother's artistic tendencies as well. That's Wyatt's piece, the boat. He was always attracted to ships.
Still is. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times he and I watched Titanic when we were babysitting him. And one episode he asked me when he was pretty young, he said, "Gee, Pa, why has he got his shirt off when him, Leonardo DiCaprio and Rose was
doing the art drawing
in that 1910 Model T?"
Yeah.
And I said, he's just having fun. And my wife got on to me. Don't tell that child he's just having fun. He's going to be thinking,
I'm going to have fun.
Scarred him for life. Okay. And this next one is early creation by Millie. Now, Millie went, she got a little deeper into the art, and she's won awards in school. This one was her pink sheep. Look at that that's awesome. And she also won in a local competition out at the Heritage Center. This one right here got a red ribbon for her ukulele. Just before Mama passed away in 1994, way too soon, she attended a local weekly painting class. So many beautiful framed pieces of Mama's art hung proudly on the walls of my childhood home. When one of the pastors who was to present her eulogy came by the house, he asked me, my brother and sister, what Mama's legacy meant to us. What had she given us that we would forever remember her by? Besides her love, her warmth, and her encouragement in anything we ever did, besides the sweetness and kindness she showed to anyone she ever met, besides the heart she held us in and the home she raised us in, I told him she taught me the love of art. February 18th would have marked her 95th birthday, and I'm positive she's celebrating with a brush of silver, a canvas of gold, and more love than heaven can hold.
All right.
She was a sweet woman. She knew Megan.
Oh, Megan talks about her constantly. Constantly. I mean, she's
Well, she was
very
kinda
highly of her.
Yeah, she was kind of like we are to Justin's daughter Hannah. You know, she'd come to our house after school and
Right.
spend the night. Well, when Justin lived there, she'd spend the night. Justin get up, go to work. Me or Lynn would drop her off at school and pick her up from school in the afternoon. And same way with Mama and Daddy. When them Megan and Laura and Aaron, all three cousins, had practically spent their childhood and summers there at their house. So Mama had a big impact on them.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, Lauren?
Mm.
Y'all want to say goodnight? Yes, you got a topic you want to smash pumpkins? Smash the pumpkins?
Smashing Pumpkins.
What about y'all's concerts? I attended many in Jacksonville when I was that indelible age of 17, 18. Music was paramount.
Let's see. We saw Jesus Lizard and Helmet.
Yeah.
I saw Jesus Christ Superstar there. Okay.
we just got to see Helmet again
That's right.
last year. But
Last September. Yeah.
we saw Nirvana. We saw
Tool.
one of the biggest first concerts. Well, I mean, besides those early 80s ones we went to, was Lollapalooza, Orlando.
Lollapalooza 93.
Mm.
And that was the first festival we went to.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a big
Kids
deal.
with no cell phones and paper maps
Yep.
driving out there in the world.
Stoned.
These kids are too scared for all that. But we were
No
there.
kidding.
We were there early. We got in early, and they had these little side stages. Well, a band had started up on the side stage, but I mean, it's still filling up. Like they hadn't started any main acts yet or anything. And we're sitting there watching. I think it was this band called Cell.
I could not remember the name of the band to save my
CELL.
life.
That's what we were watching.
Okay.
And there was probably 30 people standing there because everybody's still coming in the gate.
Yeah.
And a group of friends, you could tell they all knew each other, were throwing one of them around, but there's not a crowd yet.
They're quote unquote crowd surfing.
Yeah, they're trying to crowd surf with just them, just like five guys.
Yeah.
And they're throwing their buddy up, and they launched him and then he's coming down on his own 2 feet where nobody's catching him or anything, and his shin just breaks, and it's now he's got another kneecap between his kneecap and his ankle.
Snapped it.
And it's just flipping and flopping, and he's screaming and hollering, and we're like, "Oh God!" We were already nervous about there being mosh pits and stuff like that we'd never been a part of. We're like little skinny
16 years old.
16, 17.
Y'all said, "Don't nobody help him."
Well, they came and like toted him off, and we were like, "Man, this thing hadn't even got started yet. We're going to die. We're going to die." Like that guy just got demolished, and there ain't even nobody here yet.
Well, I mean, that's not that far from the truth because Sean almost did die, I think.
Yeah, I got almost squished to death.
Yeah.
Blacked out. They had to pull me over the railing.
Yeah, so me and Sean, we fought our way to the front of the stage for Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were at the front, and I think we managed to enjoy about 3 songs before things really got wild.
Everybody got pushed forward.
Crush.
Lane Staley, the singer of Alice in Chains, he
Jumped
actually
on
jumped on top of us. Like he jumped out into the audience and while he was singing. That was really cool.
That was very cool. But at some point, I remember some guy beside me going, "Get this kid out of here!"
Yeah,
And they pulled me over, and I think it was between me and the railing was just some smaller girl.
Oh,
I was a small girl enough, but Anyway,
Yeah.
they're pulling me with both arms as I'm like kind of coming to.
What about the
And I'm
girl?
just like smearing her against the bar as they pull me over.
Oh,
And I remember I stood up, which I'm on the where the security is. They're like a foot taller, pulling people over the rail because they're on like a little platform.
Yeah.
And there's the stage behind them. So now I'm on this platform with the security guys. I stand up and like guitar player Jerry Cantrell's like right there. Like I could punch him in the crotch. And he's looking at me like, kid, you know. And then they're like, start pushing me, go, go, go. And as you get to the end of where the stage ends, there's scaffolding. You can go behind the stage or you can go back into the crowd. And there's a guy there at that scaffolding. Are you hurt? And I'm like watching all this go down. Like anybody that said they're hurt, which were all girls, they went backstage. And I was like, I'm hurt. And they're like, no, you're not, kid. And they pushed me back out in the crowd. Forget about it.
They probably couldn't tell whether you was a girl or a guy yet until you said, I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. You almost got it, kid, till you started talking.
Well,
got long blonde hair and kind of cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had any experiences like that at my concerts 20 years earlier.
Oh, you never been in a mosh pit, huh?
No, never did get in the mosh pit.
Fishbone.
Fishbone came out. Like before, it was started out with Rage Against the Machine and Tool and I think Dinosaur Jr. But there was like little mosh pits of circles. Like, you don't want to get hurt.
This
you don't go in there.
This is fairgrounds. I mean, it's huge.
It's like, okay, one's starting up over here. I'm going to move over here. Fishbone comes on, and they're like jazz, punk, fusion.
Yeah.
And they're like, screw all these little pits. Let's make one big pit. And
They had a song called Swim. I guess that was the name of the song.
And they were like,
Swim,
motherfuckers.
Did y'all get trapped?
Dude, there was nowhere to go.
God,
it was chaos. Like everybody that you thought you were with was lost. Everybody was just, you were 30 feet this way, 30 feet that way. It was like a mixing.
Like you ever seen like a movie with like a battle with like a Romans and swords and stuff? Yeah, that's what it was like.
Yeah, it was like
just
like mass
dust.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
dust cloud over and
100-degree
running
weather.
over each other and bumping into you intentionally.
Yeah, it's like somebody yelled fire and everybody's scattering.
only they couldn't get out.
Yeah,
You just got to keep running in a circle.
Sorry, I don't see the fun in that.
Oh well, you
we
know,
made
when you're
it out.
17, it is.
Y'all ever mosh?
well,
Oh yeah.
Then
I mean,
we got forced.
intentionally.
Well, you know,
yeah.
we would just get behind Gus, like just get behind Gus, and he'll just clear everybody out.
That was like my life motto: was just get behind Gus.
Gus
You'll
was
be
the-
okay. Like
Like
in life, just let
Viking.
Gus go in first. Nobody will mess with us.
The Viking leader.
that's right. Helmet was. That was a killer mosh pit, and that's how you survive when you're a skinny white kid. You get behind Gus.
Zach Carwell jumped off the
That's right.
speaker or something, like a big
Yeah,
stack
he
of speakers.
Yeah, he jumped over the railing and climbed up the speakers and
Dove off.
dove off into
he
the crowd.
seems so quiet.
And well, he was quiet then, but he would do stuff
do
like
He
Some
would do
superhero stuff.
superhero
sometimes
stuff that
you wouldn't see coming.
you wouldn't see coming. What about that other picture? I forgot one more picture up there, early up there, with the
Jamie with his pants down.
It's Afghan Whigs,
Oh yeah.
top row there. This was one of y'all's go-to groups
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
back in the day, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
So probably after me and Sean moved on from the hair metal and actually started listening to good music, I guess we were listening to 120 minutes or something, and the video for Gentleman came on, or Debonair, one of those.
Yep.
And we're like, who are these guys?
Yeah, I like this new flavor. And
Is that Greg
Greg Dulli.
Dulli?
and the
Now, did one of them pass away recently?
No, he's not in that that picture.
Oh, okay, but it was a member of that
There's only 2 original members here.
group.
Yeah,
Greg and then the white-haired John Curley.
Yep.
Okay. Guy third from the right is Justin Mercer.
Yeah.
See the guy standing next to me that's Rick Nelson. He's kind of like the multi-instrumentalist. He plays violin and piano and guitar and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Skibick is the drummer for the Contours as well.
Yeah. Jack White.
Yep. And then I forgot the guitar player's name.
Where was this at?
This was at I believe this one was at Friday Playhouse in Atlanta. So we've I think we've met Greg 5 times now.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we met him in Orlando was probably the longest conversation and longest. I mean, we had a quite a long conversation with him that night.
And you also had an incident.
Yeah, we had an incident.
Huh?
Greg, if he don't see something going down in the crowd that he don't agree with, he'll call it out. We called Jamie out.
He called me out.
What?
So I don't normally stand at the front of the stage with Megan when we go to shows because of my back pain. But I did it this one because it was a really small venue, and I knew it would be easier to go to the back. I wouldn't have to fight through a big crowd. So I was up there with Megan for probably the first 3 or 4 songs, and my back started hurting. So sometimes when my back hurts from standing too long, I'll cross my arms like this real tight.
Yeah.
That kind of gives me some support. And he was playing a new song I'd never heard before. So I'm listening intently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting into the music because it's a new song. I'm listening. And he's like, it bugged him. Like
Guy's got his arms crossed.
With his arms crossed,
this guy's pissed off, man.
He thought you was criticizing him.
Yeah. So he's like, dude, you gotta get out of here with that,
That's scowl.
This antagonist.
Yeah. So put your arm in there. And I was like, oh yeah. I started acting like I was getting into it or whatever. I mean, he wasn't like a total dick about it or anything. And the funny thing is after a couple more songs, I did go back to get another drink. And he's like, what happened to the guy right here? Where'd he go? I didn't piss him off, did I? He was worried about me. So I was like, cool. I'm right here.
And then when you saw him backstage.
Yeah, so backstage we took a picture.
You're the guy.
There's a picture of both of us like doing this that Megan took,
That's cool.
And he's a pretty cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's him on the far left.
Mm-hmm. His arm around your daughter.
Oh, that's him with the second from the left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I thought she said Greg Dulli was in the checkered shirt.
I think he's got the picture that Brandon Jones did, of the guitar player that passed away. What's his name, Sean?
Max?
No. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's not the original guitar player for the Whigs. The original guitar player had some substance abuse issues.
What would their music be considered?
Golly.
I think if you look it up, they're like alternative rock, but they didn't really know where to stick them. They were kind of.
Yeah.
Who do they sound like to y'all?
They sound like Afghan Whigs.
They sound like Afghan Whigs,
So
but they kind of like
original.
If you took a '90s band and threw in the Motown element,
Wow.
then you get the Afghan Whigs.
He's got.
Can you find some on there real quick, Justin, as we're talking? Just pick a song or y'all give him a song to pick, and we'll go out with some Afghan Whigs. Is it Whigs or
some
Whigs?
Off Gentlemen.
Yeah. There's so many.
Well, I'm trying to think of one that would sound like what I just described.
And where does a name like that
Debonair?
come from?
I mean, their early stuff is very rock, very punk.
Mm-hmm.
But
Garage sounding, but
their 3 albums, Gentleman, 1965, and Black Love are.
Well, I know what would something off Black Love.
Gentleman,
Black Love.
1965. Is that where you got your?
Yeah. from Gentleman in 1965 was a lyric I had, but I was talking about
Oh,
this
okay.
relationship that lasted
Yeah.
that long.
That lasts as long as these two albums.
Yeah, from this album to that.
From
album.
Gentleman to 1965. That's awesome. Play one of them songs.
If pull up the album Black Love and Go to Town. Go on to
Oh
town.
yeah, that's a good choice.
And this is a concept album. This album is like the Newfanglers, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Crime Scene Part 1.
Yeah, like
My
it's
Enemy.
a girl.
Double Day.
A girl cheats on her man with this other guy,
Blame it, etc.
and they kill they kill her boyfriend.
Honky's Ladder.
And
Might be Kendall.
a little Motown, a little very superstitious. Writing on the wall.
Is this an instrumental?
Get your coat and come outside. I wanna take you for a ride on into town. Love affair, we'll be looking sharp eyes.
Sounds like the way Graham would try to sing.
I wanna more stop and stare when we take you down. Go to town, burn down, turn around and get your stove on, baby. I get the car, you get the match and gasoline.
We'll go to town and burn it down. I'll get the car, you get the match and gasoline.
Kind of looks like Newfanglers covers too. Little bit. Not much.
And as we ride away to the countryside.
Well, folks, we've had a good time tonight. Appreciate y'all watching. Good to have you, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Finally. And it's good to hear y'all's stories from the past. It gives me rejuvenated interest in, vitality of life and drugs and concerts. But no, we're just all kidding aside. We thank y'all for watching, and we encourage you to go on over there to patreon.com and subscribe to our monthly Deep End podcast. And buy a t-shirt off of our website, somethinginthewaterpodcast.com. And we'll see you next time. Going to march. Marsh your ass.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate.